This video is presented by newwoodworker.com. Actually getting a router bit stuck in today's routers is kind of rare. And if you do get one stuck, don't start dragging out the wrong kind of tools. There is a better way, and we'll show you that and how to avoid this kind of thing altogether. The good news is that most of today's router collets are self-extracting. And what that really means is once you break the collet nut loose, you can turn it for a little bit and then it actually tightens up again. You can turn the whole spindle. Then we have to put the wrenches back on and turn that nut through that hard spot. It's just a turn or so. Spin it off a little bit and the bit falls right out. When loosening the nut all the way doesn't help, I get a leather glove so I can hold on to the bit and not cut myself up, and use a wrench to twist the spindle back and forth while pulling on the bit. I've never had a bit that I wouldn't get out by doing this, but if you do, you might want to call the router's manufacturer for a suggestion on how to deal with their collet. Of course, you do have to take care of things a little bit, or you can get a bit stuck or even have one slip. Probably the main thing people just don't do is look inside the collet. With all that dust we make, you know some of it's going to get stuck inside it is. There's a very precise taper in the end of the shaft that the collet fits into, and we need to keep that clean. You can get enough dust in here to stick a bit or make it hard to actually tighten one down fully. I just roll up some soft material that I can stick into that taper and spin the nut around it to clean it out. I use old socks, we just keep them clean and dry, and they work just fine. And here you can see that 20 seconds worth of work made it all better. We also need to keep this cone-shaped finger assembly inside the nut clean as well. I use a little brass brush to clean this, and that does a good job and it doesn't scratch anything up. After brushing the dust out, I'll probably blow this out with an air gun just to make sure it's clean inside. After using bits for a while, the shafts themselves can need a little cleaning up. You can see that the bit on the left has got some resin and a little corrosion on the shaft. We need to clean that up. I just scrubbed the shank with a nylon abrasive pad. We don't want to use sandpaper or anything that could reduce the diameter. I also learned the hard way to wear a leather glove on the hand that's holding on to the cutters of the bit. Here again I put in all of about 20 seconds worth of scrubbing and the shaft looks real nice. If you don't take care of resin and corrosion on the shank of a bit, it can loosen up while you're routing. If the router bit will go all the way to the bottom of the collet, we want to put it all the way down and then lift it back out about 1/8 of an inch before tightening the nut. If you tighten the collet up with the bit all the way to the bottom, you can even lock one up in a self-extracting collet. Pulling it up 1/8 of an inch is all you need. If you own fairly new routers, you more than likely have a self-extracting collet. I get email all the time from people saying that they thought they had a stuck bit, but then remembered that they had a self-extracting collet. So if you do have self-extracting collets, let's try and remember that, and remember to keep everything clean inside, and you shouldn't have any problems.